When was I happiest? When the wife was still alive, I suppose, and we was as a family.
Sixth form at school, probably. I found it quite relaxing, had lots of good friends.
When I was in treatment and I found the real me.
I think the happiest in my life has been when I've been at Acorn.
And what's the greatest compliment anyone's ever paid you?
It was the other day actually, my wife saying how proud she is of what I'm doing now and how well I look, and she loves me. I'm kind and helpful, understanding. I'm a loving, caring guy.
I got told I had 6 months to live. The kids were being punished because of the state, because they lost a mum 12 years before. And I got myself in a helpless state, paid them back that way. Sort of, and they were watching the dad dying.
I live by myself, and the flat I live in basically became a sea of wine bottles. Alcohol was my problem. I actually had trouble walking when I first came in, which is about 7 weeks ago now.
I was in a violent relationship and I ended up living in a refuge whilst I was using. It was just unmanageable. When I moved into the refuge, there was a drug worker up there, and one of the agreements was that I sought help through Inspire.
I started drinking when I was about 16, going out with my friends. At first it felt good, felt outgoing. I was able to be who I wanted to be, which wasn't the shy, introverted, uninteresting person that I felt I was.
I used to thieve for money, rob out my kids' money boxes, and I didn't want my kids growing up to be like me. And they always used to say, I want to be like you, Daddy. You know, and for me that was no good for them. You know, going through what I've been through, drug taking and things like that, injecting at 15-year-old, you know, and it weren't a nice feeling.
Grew up on the streets of Bradford, got into crime at an early age, and it was like the rave scene kicked in. It was the amphetamine, the ease, crack and heroin, and then took over my life for many years.
I woke up one morning feeling really ill, and I was bleeding, and I was vomiting blood. Can't even remember walking into the ambulance until 3 days later I woke up from a hepatic coma, which nobody had expected me to come out of.
My wife saved me really, you know, got me up and motivated to get into a detox.
Been in and out of prison all my life. Last year I was ready to commit suicide. Through something that had happened when I was 15 in a young offenders. Yeah, I was up on a roof, ready to do myself in, take my own life.
Came into rehab, into Acorn services. It hadn't been my first choice, but it was the first available place. Absolutely hated it because, you know, a very shy, quiet person, hated having to go into a house that was full of people that were completely different to me. They were quite loud. I was very physically debilitated. Didn't have any strength. I was bright yellow.
It was hard work, you know, hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
At first, for the first few weeks I was struggling. I really didn't think I was suitable. I didn't think I could, but I was different to everyone else. I just did everything they suggested. And I got a lot of stuff out I've never spoke about before in my life.
Very challenging.
What was challenging about it?
Just getting honest and being honest with people and trusting other people was a big one for me. And once I built that trust up, I started opening up more. It's like a relief. You know, you're not carrying around all that stuff by yourself.
It just clarifies and gives hope to addicts and people out there who, because it's not all medication, it's realisation. And the 12 steps takes you to your depths of your despair. It gives you the realisation of how you can keep clean, because now I've got clean, it's about keeping clean now.
I've certainly appreciated being in groups. You know, I think the social element is very important. Can be a bit painful at times when you're in the spotlight, but all in all, positive experience.
The actual opening up and starting to share thoughts and your feelings and living in your feelings, because I hadn't done that for about 30 years. I found that very, very difficult. I suppose towards the end I sort of got it that, well, actually there isn't a right or wrong way of doing this. It's about going through your own journey.
It was my life story. Actually realising what I've put my wife and kids through. Actually, when I read it out back to the group, and as I was reading it out and how much I'd hurt them, my family, that got to me bad, crying, and it hurt inside. I could feel it inside. You know, the butterflies in my stomach, horrible feeling.
Step 4 and step 5, admitting it to another human being. All your regrets, and your defects, and your resentments, and putting it into words, and actually saying it to somebody as well, who understands. It's like the ultimate sponsor moment, if you had a sponsor. It becomes clear what the treatment's all about.
Life story. Everything just changed after doing the life story. Got so much out. Just being honest and getting it out there, and then people can understand you more, understand what you've been through, the things I did, things that happened to me.
It made me realise that there's no going back to social drinking. You know, those times have gone, and I'm completely comfortable with that. You know, I acknowledge it, and I know that if I picked up a drink again, I'd probably be back where I was. So, you know, I mean, it was a very powerful session for me. Yeah, powerful piece of work.
Life story, yeah. That's when I got something out I've never spoke about before in my life. I realised then, that day, that me doing that can help others. Because 2 other people opened up after that. So I realised then, it clicked what it was all about. Group work, group therapy. I had a bit of a guard up still with coming from the prison and just getting fresh out from jail, and it's hard enough as it is. But being out was like, anxiety was all over me, and but I just faced it. I just thought, going all out.
Grief letters to my daughter. To all my kids really, but mostly to my daughter, because she got caught in the middle. It weren't my daughter's mother that died, it was the boy's mother that died. She was from an early relationship. She got caught about in the crossfire of that. It's weird because she doesn't actually read it, but we talk well and we're very close. So she'd have got the gist of it. It was honest and truthful.
Say grief letters, you think, well, it's to people who have died. But it's not. It's grief letters to where you felt hurt. And I think that's where your life story is so important, because the counsellors are able to pick out who you really need to write those grief letters to. And because the actual act of writing it down, letting it out, and then reading it out, and then going through it in group therapy, it made you start to understand and question what you'd just taken for granted.
Well, the top one has to be stopping drinking, without a doubt. But I think along with that, there come personality changes. I think more peaceful, less worried about time, just happy to let things roll, really.
I started trusting people more, and I talk to people more than what I used to do. I have honest conversations, and it's just good that people don't want anything from me like they used to.
I think I'm more aware generally. A nice day, for example, like today, that really impacts upon me much more than it used to.
I've started valuing my life. I've stopped wasting away and being a complete waste of time. I've got more hope. I'm hoping that I can better myself because I'm now volunteering at Acorn. And I'm hoping I can do something structural with that. Change my life totally.
Yeah, I've learned to be able to trust people, be myself, be the real me, and apparently the real me is quite a funny, slightly quirky, a little bit punky person, somebody people actually want to listen to.
It's changed my life, but it's not only my life, my kids will get the dad back, my wife will get her husband back, and my mum will get her son back, and my brothers as well will get their brother back. Remember my mum said to me on the phone, she says, all I want is Shane back, and I'm back. I want to bring my kids up the right way, let them know right from wrong. I just want to be there for my family. Be a good person to other people as well, help others.
Getting clean in general benefited everything. Benefited my relationship with all my kids. The two boys have got at home, Mark, my eldest, says it's the best thing I've ever done for him. When he come visiting me in treatment, he said the last 20 minutes of our time together has been better than the last 18 years.
The development of the friendships and that ability to be able to form friendships now and connect with people, that's absolutely priceless, because I was a bit of a workaholic as well, but I'm learning to have fun now, willing to try new things, and just getting over that fear of trying new things just opens up a whole new world.
Before coming into treatment, I wasn't in touch with any of my family, so it's brought me closer to my family and my friends. I'm starting to gain a relationship with my daughter again, so that's brilliant. I've had overnights with her and stuff, and it's just been amazing to get that relationship back. I didn't see her for 2.5 years before coming into treatment. Just kind of lost us. Relationship just failed. And once she knew that I were in treatment, I started having overnights, and now we're getting on like house on fire again, and it's just brilliant.
I would say to value people, other people and myself. try and approach things with an open mind, essentially.
I found I've got a lot of qualities, you know, starting to like myself. I feel like I'm doing something right for once, you know. I've hit many brick walls along the way. But one thing I've learnt from here is I've got a sledgehammer. I just smash straight through that wall now, you know, come out the other end.
Yeah, I know that I'm caring and honest, kind person. I'm not the horrible person that I used to be.
How easy it is to fall back into addiction. You know, it creeps up very fast. I had a situation about a week ago where seen people using on the street, and I walked past a homeless person and I wanted it. And then all of a sudden it was in my head and it was stuck there and I couldn't get rid of it. But what I learned is get myself out of the situation and deal with it. And that's what I did. You know, and being early in recovery, I didn't think I could do that. Spoke to people about it, which I never used to speak to anybody on my own. And now it's, what I take away most is actually speak to people, be honest.
I don't want to blame anyone else but myself, because it's me that's made that mistake. I mean, I've had plenty of time to sort that out. And obviously the wife dying could have contributed, but I don't want to use excuses. It should have made me stronger for the boys.
A 21-year-old daughter, brilliant, so proud of her. An 18-year-old son, proper proud of him, both in university. And I've got 7-year-old twins, but they're in care at the moment, but they're getting looked after. I've only been in treatment 6 months. At the social services the other week, and I'm getting to see them in July, and absolutely made up. Yeah, made up. And they've said to me I can get to see them 6 times a year as long as I keep it up and don't commit no more offences. And in 12, 18 months' time, still doing the same thing. They're going to look at helping me get somewhere sorted, and baby steps like, but getting back in my care. Oh, magic, magic.
I'm intending to do some voluntary work while these health issues are being sorted, which, thanks to Acorn, I've got that framework in place and my health is improving. And having fun, I think that's a key thing for me, because just being able to laugh again.
Stay clean is one of them. To smile more. To create an happier environment than what I have been doing in my home life when kids are concerned. Even though they'll be venturing out on their own pathways soon. I just want clarity with that, so I don't mess them up in any shape or form. I just want to get as much knowledge about recovery as possible and hopefully stay involved, because it helps my recovery, and if I can help someone in recovery, then it's all feels worthwhile, it's giving back.
Well, continued recovery, I've got a plan of various meetings, both Acorn meetings in the community and AA, that type of thing. See as much of the children as possible, get on with life. I'm actually retired, but I plan to take up some part-time work, but somewhere in the future. I just want to readjust to everyday life really first.
Recovery isn't easy, and if it was easy, it wouldn't be recovery. You wouldn't learn half as much about yourself. You wouldn't learn how to deal with the difficult things if you just breezed through your recovery. The minute you went out and you got the same challenges, you'd just go straight under. So just try and be as honest as you can.
suppose my thanks first and foremost go to Ray, my counsellor. Ray's been my principal counsellor and the staff here more widely.
Firstly, I'd like to thank my two counsellors in Deep, which is Tam and Trish, for putting up with me, listening to my story about my addiction and helping me get as far as I am today.
Massive thanks to everyone in Acorn, all the counsellors, Sam, Sue, Emma, Ray.
Also Sue for giving me a solid foundation to get back out there and start my life again.
Thank you to my support worker Sarah at Horizon.
Big thanks to Gary Benson for getting me here, picking me up from prison and bringing me straight here.
I don't want to start naming names because I might miss one out. Everybody to do with Acorn for giving me the recovery, because it's been wonderful. It's been the best thing I've ever done.
All my peers, the ones who I've got on with and the ones who I haven't got on with, they've been a lesson to me.
I've got to say thank you to my sister.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to my daughter Caitlin and my sister Angela for being there and supporting me. Thank you to my support worker Louise from the refuge, Michelle and Lisa. Thank you all for believing in me.
Big thanks to my family, especially my mum, never giving up on me.
I'd like to thank my children, Mark, Derek and Sarah, for putting up with me and still being there for me for when I come out. And I'm sorry for putting you through what I put you through.
I think my thank yous have to start off with my niece. I don't have any children of my own, but since she was born, she's been the love of my life. She's given me such joy, such pleasure. She must have been about 5 or 6, and she told me she loved me. That memory will be there forever.
Most of all, I'd like to thank Laura, my wife, for putting up with me for the last 10 years through my addiction. You're amazing, and I can't believe you put up with me for this long and seeing something what I couldn't see, good person in me. I love you all to bits. Thank you very much.